Well, welcome to the Symposium. I'm Keith, I guess.
I'm Sam.
That's not true. I'm Sam.
My name is Kenny Clifford, if you will.
And we're here with Keith.
That's me. Yeah, we're here with us. And we're just gonna, it's gonna be a rough start to this series, but I think it'll be enjoyable.
Sometimes we're just gonna find our way along the way.
Yeah. Sometimes I start a sentence and I don't.
That was what it was. Dadgummit. Oh, well, I tried.
So, Keith, as I've never done this, why don't you explain a little bit, what are we doing here?
Well,
besides
hold your horses there. I don't know what we're doing here.
You gotta have some idea, surely. You called us here today.
Yeah. So the thing is, I don't know what the thing is, but we'll find it along the way.
Yeah.
Great.
1 second. I lost my page.
Keith. Oh,
So-
my gosh.
We're good. We're solid. So I guess we'll start somewhere.
That was
We're good.
deep. That was deep.
It was deep. You gotta start somewhere.
Deepest is best.
What was that?
Huh?
What?
What now?
Gotta start somewhere. You said it was deep. Yeah, so, anywho.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we'll start here. What do y'all think about let's start with free will.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, boy. Could have seen that one coming a mile away.
Is this why you intentionally didn't tell us what we were going to
No,
talk
no.
about?
Honestly,
Gotcha.
I had no clue until the words were coming out of my mouth.
Keith.
We don't have to.
I think I have a really boring
end
answer
there,
for
but we
you.
can.
A really short and boring answer.
Yeah.
Give us the short and boring answer.
Short and boring answer is let me think this through so I don't say anything too stupid. Are you enjoying
That's
that?
a nice sound, actually. You want to hand me that glass? Yes.
I guess it's not nearly as simple as I thought.
Yeah.
It's other like the shortest way I can say is like I think there's like a weird combination of both.
Yeah.
Both.
In terms of, are you thinking
free will versus predestination, just free will in general?
either? I'm good with either.
I think there's a weird combination of free will and predestination that I cannot really understand, or not so easily grasped.
So
Grasped.
as people, do you think that people have like a? I'm guessing that you think that we have we're able to. We're not just biological components that initiate tasks. Is that right?
Hang on, that was way over my head.
So well, maybe it wasn't
I'm
over
trying
your
to
head.
translate
Maybe it was beneath you. Yeah.
So what Keith is asking, so you are presuming that people are not simply biological computers that take in stimuli from the environment and output a behavior.
Yes.
And so you're starting from you're launching from a point that presumes that there's something else, right?
Right.
Yes.
Other than just that.
Right.
Exactly. Yes. And what is your thought?
Well, so I my thought is somewhere out there. I'm not sure if I have a thought yet. I have
Out there
maybe.
beneath the pale moonlight. You started it.
I think that was copyright infringement.
Don't sing that.
But so I don't know what I actually think. But I'm just saying that if we're gonna focus in on what the issue is, then I think we have to kind of realize that there's the belief that it could just be that we're biological components that take something in and put something out. And I'm wondering, I guess what makes you think that it's not that?
Well, it's really hard to answer this question without bringing religion into it.
Right.
Yeah. Nearly impossible.
I didn't mean to force you into that, but that's just kind of.
But if you do bring that into it, it would clearly, because I believe I believe in creation. I believe that there is, and I just it's really hard to articulate.
Yeah.
That. Let's say I forgot what I was even saying. Dadgummit. What was the question?
So
why?
Not sure if there was a fully formed question in there, but it had something to do with where the what makes you believe that it's not just biological inputs and outputs.
Without bringing in religion, I'd probably say human nature.
Okay.
Just because, you see people who, so I guess this also brings into religion, but I think that human nature is just on a fleshly basis bad.
Yeah.
Because I think most of us are, we think more about ourselves than other people. We're typically selfish. We want to gratify our flesh, or at least I do.
Yeah.
That's my first and natural tendency.
Right.
And so, but the people who go against their fleshly tendencies and their own desires to gratify themselves, who go out of their way to help someone else or to think of others first, which goes against it, makes me think that they're not just receiving input and acting on that as if this is straying away from free will. So
no, that's.
I'm not really. That doesn't really answer your question.
No, it does. So I guess not to leave you just over there not answering anything.
Yeah, you just don't say anything.
So if that's the case, I guess what I'm wondering is what makes you think that those people don't. What makes you think that those people don't just have a more complicated input and output?
Ooh, that is a good question. I don't know. What would make someone else's input more or less complicated?
So there's classic selfishness where we do stuff directly for ourselves. But I'm not sure if I think this, but there's an idea that there's another type of selfishness where you do things for other people, either to make you feel better or to benefit yourself through them. As in a relationship, person A and person B will do things for each other and expect things in return, or just know that they're going to get things in return.
Yeah. It goes along with the idea that we get when we study not just humans but some other animals that have altruistic behaviors that don't necessarily make sense. Because when we think about humans, you say, okay, there's a human nature that sometimes can say, okay, normal human nature is bad, but then sometimes people go against that, right?
Yeah.
People do good at cost to themselves. But we also see that in other animals too, on occasion, and there is an idea that people have developed from observing that, where sometimes it's evolutionarily beneficial to be altruistic and self-sacrificial, right? Like a mother or a parent or a member of a family who has their genetics spread about in this family might sacrifice themselves to save a group, right? And you say, why would you do that? Because that their goal should be selfish, right? Normally people's or animals' goal is to survive, right? It's survival of the fittest. But fitness is less about surviving in one lifetime as long as possible and more about passing on as many genes as possible. And so for that being or that animal, that person, it might have been more evolutionarily beneficial to sacrifice themselves to save their family and continue having more of their genes propagated down generations. So I think that argument, if someone were to make it better than that, can in a lot of ways explain away the discontinuities of human behavior versus the badness of human nature.
Okay.
what about, not to make it super dark, but
Oh,
what about suicide?
Ugh.
I think some people have like people are obviously more complicated than animals, right?
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
a much more complicated nervous system and
Right.
brain.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of us.
But we do things to like improve the way we feel,
Yeah.
right? And for some people, it becomes so painful to live.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's physical pain, right? People are sick with like dying with cancer, and they just want to die,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because they're in so much pain, chronic pain all the time, can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Their quality of life is really bad, and so they want to die.
Yeah.
But also people with so much psychic pain, like mental anguish, that when they look into their future, the only thing they see is more pain and more pain and more pain. And so the only way to not experience that is to eliminate the stimulus by killing yourself.
Yeah.
Is to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a neuroscience major.
He's smart.
Yeah.
So I think it fits in the selfishness, right? We want ourselves to feel as good as possible.
Yep.
And for some people that means doing good things, community service. So you're like, why would you pick up trash all day? Like, oh, well, that made me feel good because I did something for the world. I did something for my community.
Yeah.
And for some people, it's like, what made me feel better was to kill myself.
Yeah.
And I don't think, I'm not saying that's the only option those people have, but like in a lot of cases, that seems to be the only way, like the only option. I don't think it is, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also think that human behavior and human thought process doesn't take into account evolutionary fitness.
Right.
Right. We have behaviors, sex drive, whatever that are a step above that take the desire to send more versions of ourselves out there. Right. The desire for evolutionary or biological fitness. And it's kind of a Freudian thing where it like masks that by superseding it with an abstract idea of love. And instead of like, my body is telling me that I need to reproduce and have children,
Right.
my brain is saying, or my heart is saying that I'm in love with another person that I want to have children with.
Yeah.
And I want to take care of those kids because I'm their parent and I love them. But I think all of that is kind of can be explained as a mask for the underlying like basic survival biological like fitness idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I had something.
What's that in function? You forgot it.
Yeah. I was too focused on both things.
But Keith, if you want, I can go back to your original question, which was free will or not, I believe.
Yeah.
And so I think there is a way to talk about free will without necessarily being religious. It's a lot more complicated, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's more complicated. You wouldn't understand, but I don't really understand it well enough to talk about it well. But there's an idea that emerged in philosophy of mind in like the middle of the 20th century, right? Like mid 1900s, when science and philosophy were coming together to say, here's what we are learning about the mind, about who we are from science, and trying to merge the ideas of a soul, of a mind that's separate from a brain.
Right.
And we're saying, well, maybe that's not exactly right. Maybe the mind is the brain. Maybe the mind is something that kind of like is the abstract idea of the physical thing, the brain. But there's an idea called emergent dualism, right? You probably know what dualism is from Descartes, was the original one.
Triple, yeah.
Tripleism, actually. But where there's a body and there's a mind. And most philosophers like dualism is easy to destroy. Like, dualism is dumb.
Why?
It would take a little explaining,
never mind.
but logically there's some inconsistencies with the original formulation of what is dualism. And then, so most scientists or philosophers would say, The other option is materialism, which says we're just a body, right? Our brain, our consciousness is just a byproduct of having a complicated nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
That we feel things and we can logically work through problems using the gifts or the tools of our brain. But some people would say there's something that has arisen out of the complexity of the human nervous system that is distinct from just the body. We have, whether we were created this way or we evolved to a certain degree, that now we have developed a consciousness that is greater than the sum of its parts, is kind of the phrase at the core of emergent dualism. It's not that we're just our body. Because our nervous system is so complex, we now have this thinking thing and this feeling thing that is something that has emerged out of the body to be a little bit greater. And so I think if you want to go there, you can say, well, if I can buy some of the tenets of emergent dualism that I don't have off the top of my head, but then maybe you can say that is a kind of soul. Like, it's a kind of explanation of a soul. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's necessarily religious. Like, if religious people can necessarily reconcile the idea of emergent dualism with the soul that's going to live on, and that is like a part of us and is very particular to us. But it's a way to kind of almost merge the ideas of materialism and dualism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I did it justice, but that's an idea out there. Emergent dualism.
Yeah.
There are people still alive that are like philosophers that kind of came up with that and spearheaded the idea.
So, what is your take on free will, though?
Oh, what I was saying was that, sorry, I didn't directly relate it back. But, so it kind of goes against the idea of determinism, which is basically predestination. Okay. And in scientific or philosophical terms, predestination is akin to determinism, whether at the beginning of time, all of the atoms and the molecules and the pieces of the universe were sent off into spinning and movement, and there's like these laws that define how those pieces react together and move together. And then if you could compute all that information, you had all the available information, you could tell what was going to happen. You could have known that eventually some of those things would get together and create life, and then form these super complex things, and then that level of determinism, the predetermined by physical attributes of molecules and atoms, that you could tell what a person's life would do, what a person would do based on their biochemical makeup and the environment that they were going to interact with. So taking both of those things, and if you had all of the knowledge of what they were going to interact with and what was in here, that you could say, you're going to make this decision. And that's basically what determinism is. Determinism, I can't say the right word. But emergent dualism kind of goes against that a little bit, to say that there's a consciousness that emerges out of our nervous system that can supersede that says, that can almost outside of the biological makeup of a person, can influence the physical pieces. And so it's almost a kind of free will.
Yeah.
So you keep saying almost.
I know.
So the like emergent dualism.
The emergent dualism.
What I'm thinking is that
that's what it's called.
Yeah. But what I'm thinking is that the consciousness that arises out of this is kind of like a euphemism for the person, about like, so it's representing, like you said earlier, representing the things that might not seem so great in society, I guess. So like consciousness and relationships and stuff like that would just be euphemisms for
the biological undercarriage of that.
Yeah. And so I guess is there something that makes it not a euphemism and makes it something real? Because I guess the problem that I have with something being greater than the sum of its parts is that each of those parts fit together in a certain way, and so
Yeah.
by definition they're not the same on their own.
Yeah, sure. I don't have a good answer off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I don't know. What I guess I can say is that so let's take computers for instance, because we like to compare computers to the human brain a lot. And let's say that you have a processor that has a certain number of pieces, a certain number of like microcircuits and whatever they're called, little black boxes. Anyway, a certain number of nodes that can make computations, the pieces, and looking at all those parts together and their size and the way they're connected, you can say exactly the limits of that thing.
Right.
We can put limits on a piece of machinery.
We do.
And we do. We say this processor can handle this much information, and it's going to put out these kinds of computations, right? But based on the pieces of the brain, right? Like, say a neuron is a wire in that thing. I don't think we can put limits on that the same way we can, and so therefore, like, I don't think we can put limits on the computational or the output ability of the human brain the way we can a computer processor, and in that way it can do something greater than what is expected out of the parts, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And specifically in that, our consciousness is something very personal and something that no one else can get into.
Right.
And we don't imagine that this is going a lot into AI, but we don't imagine that a computer, or most people don't think that a computer that will take in inputs and output human-like behavior, human-like responses, because it's programmed that way. We don't think that has a consciousness, that has a phenomenological experience of the world, but we do with us, right?
Yeah.
But we have that, and so that's what emergent dualism is trying to say. That there's something special about us that gives us this separate thing, that's separate, and slightly bigger, I guess, abstractly speaking, than our biology.
Yeah.
But I can tell the way that you reacted and you're smiling that you're probably one of the people that believes in a varying levels of consciousness, right? And can ascribe that to machines. And I don't know where I stand on that, but that's a very different question.
So based off of that, you're saying that so you think that AI can?
So
I just knowing Keith and the way his brain works, I'm pretty sure he believes his computer is sentient.
I didn't. So okay.
Do you or do you not?
Got him.
The problem is that like, what is sentience? It's kind of like a feeling that we have like about ourselves. Like it's like I can sit here thinking about like what I'm going to say next and stuff like that, and I can observe myself thinking about those things. And we kind of tell computers to do the same thing. I know that doesn't quite relate to that, but the thing is like whatever happens inside that black box, I will never know. Your head. I will never know.
Yeah.
And
so technically, you don't know that he's not just a computer.
Yeah.
Right. We don't know for sure that each other has a consciousness.
We can never know.
But also, I don't think that we can for sure know ourselves either. Because
wait, what do you mean? Know that we ourselves are sentient?
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Oh,
because like
who I am.
So you I was gonna say you always talk about, but that's not true. So you as a person probably, okay, I'm gonna talk about myself. I think that I am conscious, and I feel like I'm aware of myself and feel like I'm aware of myself being aware of myself. But to you, first of all, these words that are coming out of my mouth could just be, I mean, it doesn't necessarily come from anywhere to you.
Yeah.
But to me, it could be the same thing. It could be that those, and it gets complicated because where are those ideas going to? And that kind of points to real consciousness. But I don't know. It's
a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That we don't necessarily, we assume that we have a consciousness that controls our body and controls our thoughts too.
Yeah.
But that's not really true. Mm-hmm. Because we're very much subject to our bodily whims and our brain's whims. Like, when we're in a bad mood, we're like, can't explain it. I just am angry today.
Yeah.
And
my computer does that too sometimes.
Oh!
Decides not to work sometimes. Gets a virus, gets sick. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Faulty owner.
Yeah. Fumble that keyboard. No. Pop. Oh no.
Well, those words definitely didn't have anything behind
Luna?
Sam, will you take care of that? Will you?
So that's a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, that's happened several times today. They need to fix that glitch soon.
Water.
So.
Oh, there's a question. Would you take the red pill or the blue pill? Okay, neither here nor there. But
well, no.
Which one was which?
No.
Red pill is the one that takes you into the matrix, takes you out of the matrix. Blue pill, you go back to sleep, and you just.
I would take the red pill.
Blue pill, you go back to sleep?
Yeah, blue pill, you just live in the matrix.
Oh boy, I consider it. No,
your life's hunky-dory.
Do you remember?
No.
Oh, but you don't remember? See, that's like... See, I probably would take the red pill because I want to know.
And then regret it forever.
So I want to know. And then I'd be like, I could have gone back to blissful ignorance.
Well, what's interesting was, what is the guy's name who he's the backstabber? He's the guy who leaves the matrix, but it makes a deal with the matrix that if I betray my friends... You will make me an actor or a celebrity in this
He's
world.
the little one that talks like this. And should have taken the blue pill.
Yeah, exactly. That guy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't remember his name.
So I guess along a similar line there, would you rather?
Yes.
Yes. would you rather be in? It's okay. This question. Would you rather be in a simulation and not know it that is perfect and blissful, or be in reality, being in like a horrible reality?
What kind of horrible reality are you talking about?
I mean, as bad as you can imagine it, I guess.
So would I rather be in heaven or hell?
Know it?
Well,
that's an easy question.
Well,
but you would know that it was real.
You would know that it was real.
But in the simulation...
No, I would take the simulation.
Yeah, in the simulation, you would think that it's real.
Yeah.
So so there would be no difference.
Yeah.
Other than one you're choosing pain and one you're choosing perfect pleasure.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Well, why would you choose the other one?
Well, so...
Would you, Keith?
I don't know. So what if I phrased it maybe better? Would you rather be in a simulation that you were unsure of its reality, but it was blissful?
You couldn't verify.
Yeah. Or in reality and know that it's real and know that it's awful?
I feel like after I was experiencing the reality and I knew it and it was awful, I would wish I was in the simulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take the simulation for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some awful realities out there.
Yeah.
I get upset when anything bad happens. I wouldn't want to be in a bad reality all the time. I think my life's pretty good. I barely like it at all.
Oh my gosh. All right, Sam,
Don't
pose a
touch
question.
me.
What?
Pose a question. Your turn.
Okay.
Riddle me this.
Would you rather have no, I can't do it. It was gonna be really stupid if I did.
Yeah,
it was gonna
I
be
thought
like, would you rather have like a...
Do we have a Lamborghini?
No, it wasn't gonna be that stupid. It was gonna be better.
I don't know why I was reaching for that.
Keith, give me that. Yeah, I've
What?
I've wanted some,
I just ate, fellas.
but
All right, give me the cheese. What kind of cheese is that?
Well, yeah, I was about to say you might not actually want it.
What is it?
So,
Keith, this kind of tastes like piss.
are you kidding me? That's the best cheese on the planet.
Is it really? Okay, let me try.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
So
That
the
is
thing
Mr.
is-
Daddy's pizza. Thank you.
Before you have some, it was made with beer originally. Doesn't have alcohol in it now, but just
that's all
if
good.
that. Okay,
That's all
okay.
good. It's all good in the hood.
I wasn't sure if that.
No.
I gotta have it with a cracker.
Yeah, you're gonna really cancel out all the alcohol. Good, because that's how that works. It's good. It's sweet.
I don't like it. Not
Okay,
at all.
what you liken this tasting to? How would you know? Oh,
I've tasted Pete.
that's where we end it, right there. That's over.
Is there something wrong with that? Curiosity got the best of me, man.
What?
We're two different things.
Okay,
Sam,
conversation for another day.
there's a lot of things that I feel like that is your answer to. Curiosity got the best of me, man.
What else you got for us, Keith?
Yeah.
I feel like there's more to this conversation. There's
Yeah.
definitely more.
Yeah,
I feel like we
I'm
kind
not
of
sure
hit,
where
we
to
hit
go,
a
though.
stopping point,
Yeah.
and then we went, no,
yeah.
no, we're.
Kind of forgot where we left off.
We were talking about the Matrix, and then we all kind of agreed on like a blissful. No, I don't think we agreed on that, but we kind of
The two of you agreed on it,
Came
and
to
I
an answer
don't have an opinion.
for-
Keith really likes
Blissful.
reality, but he also doesn't like pain. So there's the dilemma.
Yeah.
I think Keith's problem is that he wants to know the answer. He
Interesting.
hates Keith hates unsurety more than he hates pain.
I think, and it also
Roasted.
also hates control. Or hates not having control.
Yeah, exactly.
So exactly, it kind of feeds into is like, okay, I want to control that I know what my reality is versus
Yes.
letting someone else control my thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So-
why you would take the red pill, right? Because you want to
Yeah.
control your fate and
Yeah.
not be subject to the simulation.
Now, faced with the actual choice of that, I do not know what I would pick. Because in my head, I would think immediately, I'd be like, no matter how bad that reality is, I'd rather try that and find a way to dig myself out of that horribleness.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the time, there's not a way to do that for
Yeah,
certain realities. So that's the kind of the...
Yeah.
Do I just charge headfirst into it? Because I do not like to be... If I know something's fake, I hate it.
Yeah.
But if I didn't know...
Like my butt.
So,
My butt's fake.
Oh, boy. Woo.
anyways,
Yeah, moving on.
so both of you kind of chose blissful ignorance.
Yes, I chose that.
Kind of.
Kind of.
See, but that also depends, because, like, in
The
certain
alternative
situations...
sucks though.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah.
Except, okay, how about this, though? You're married to the woman you love.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather know she had an affair? Or would you rather be ignorant about it and then just
Ooh.
continue living...
But live happily, like have a happy relationship.
Exactly, a happy relationship. See, that's the thing.
I would want to know.
I would want to know.
I would want to know too.
But you see, but it's the same thing. It's a horrible reality versus a blissful existence.
Yeah.
Ooh, ouch.
You
know? What about-
that makes it more real. That's a more real scenario that I can imagine.
Yeah.
Right, because I know what
Right.
relationships
And you-
feel
And
like,
then there's
and you know what the insecurities of like knowing that.
You
Yeah.
never had a relationship.
so. What about like a mental thing, like some kind of disorder where you think that this is the case and it's not
Like
the case at
dementia?
all. Yeah, but like a
schizophrenia.
positive version. Yeah.
Oh.
But like a positive.
But a
version.
good version of schizophrenia.
Yeah, where your reality is like amazing, but you're
See,
You mean your
You're not
perception?
grounded in
Your
reality.
perception of reality is like, oh, this is amazing.
yeah.
But it's actually really like. Man.
Well, okay,
Is what
no.
you're saying?
So, I guess what I'm saying, and this probably doesn't differ at all. So I don't know if it's a great question, but if so in this situation, this person has a reality, and there are certain things about that reality that other people realize aren't true, but this person thinks that those things are true, and because they're true, this is like the perfect reality. I don't know if that's the same. It might be the same, and it might just be.
So you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, other people would see that my reality is fake, but they know that I believe believe it.
But you would believe it completely, and it would be amazing for you.
And so you're asking, would I want that or not want that?
Yeah.
I would not want that. Yeah, that's like having dementia and everyone else knowing it, but you.
Yeah.
So that's like real.
Yeah. So now.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't on that in that circumstance. No, I don't know how. I'm trying to think of a way that you could, in a real situation where that's a positive thing.
Right. I
don't know that there is.
Yeah. Because it's tough being in what we think is reality now. Like we care what other people think about us, I guess.
Yeah. And going back to the relationship thing, how bad would it be if everyone else knew she had an affair and you didn't?
Yeah.
So you're all blissful and everything's great, and everyone else knows.
And everyone just thinks but then everyone thinks you're an idiot.
Yeah.
So no, I want to know.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of value in what people think about us, right? Like you said, like we don't want to feel ignorant.
You don't want to feel foolish.
Yeah, you don't want to feel foolish. I was trying to think of an analogy that... Dang. Couldn't think of one quickly. Just going to drink some more wine.
Interesting. So is there an area in your life... This is really broad. It's probably hard for you to think of. But is there an area of your life that you wish you did not have control over? Since that's kind of like, I think you and I have talked about this before. Like, I forget what it was. You want control, and I forget what it was that I decided that I wanted. That was like my number one thing that I always wanted. I don't know if it wasn't control. I think it was.
What is? Are you thinking
pride?
like?
I think mine was pride. I think I was. I get self-absorbed about being proud of myself, finding things to find pride in. And I think that was my vice.
Yeah.
But anyways, is there an area of your life that you wish you did not have control of? Or something you were more likely to give up control?
Yeah, okay. So, and it's funny because of all this, but I guess the area that's most obvious to me is food intake. Like if I didn't have to think about any of that, then it would be amazing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I agree too. Yeah. I agree.
As in what? As in someone just prepared a meal for you every day, and you just have to eat that.
That'd be amazing.
Even if it wasn't very good.
Even if it was like what I eat all the time, it's just I don't have to put energy into thinking about those things.
That was a really practical answer. It's not what I expected. That was a good one.
No, yeah. I agree because I get mad even if I have to spend 5 minutes making food. It makes me so upset to have to prepare things just because it also I think there's something in that reminds me of how physical of a being I still am, even though I like to be in my head and on the internet and
on the internet
on the Google, but really though because that's such it's like a virtual reality almost. It's not
where you don't have those physical needs,
but there's no you don't have to eat. You when you're just thinking about stuff, there's nothing physical about it. You can almost be disconnected from your body. When you're sitting at a computer and pretty much all you can see is a screen, and you're just doop 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 doop. There's almost nothing outside of that.
It's like horse blinders,
Yeah, basically. But when you're reminded that there is a reality and there's just crap that you have to do to stay alive, it sucks. It's annoying, and I think that's part of the reason I
So based
would
on
just
this,
to be. I don't have to eat.
Yeah.
A movie I enjoyed, not a great movie, Transcendence.
Yes. Didn't we watch that together with our parents? No. That was In Time.
Yeah,
that horrible movie. Yeah.
Okay. I really enjoyed that.
I actually enjoyed the concept of that movie as well. Sad. So anyway, kind of with both of those, so would you choose to have your consciousness uploaded to the web?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Right now, if you were like offered that, that's you.
No, I'd rather be alive. But if I had the choice between death and having my consciousness,
well,
on
of
the
course,
internet,
yeah. Well,
right now, I wouldn't either,
well,
just because of all the people.
So
too many people on the internet.
Too many people in reality.
In the real world that you like.
Okay, well, so that's assuming there's like not life after death. But if there is life after death, would you still rather cheat death and have your consciousness uploaded, or go on to the next?
As
if I was
physical
confident in either one, that didn't make sense.
Okay, say you are confident in an afterlife.
I would take that over trying to cheat death at the risk of.
Yeah, Voldemort did that. You saw what happened to him. Harry Potter got him.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
well, it's just. But it's another temporary thing
before
the
internet crashes and burns. Yeah.
Whatever technology you're stored in gets destroyed. It's like another body. You're transferring into another, possibly longer lasting body.
Yeah.
I guess the possibility is that you could live forever virtually, but it's not a sure thing.
Yeah.
Right? There's hardware.
Yeah. Although in Transcendence, he was able to regenerate his body.
Yeah. See, that's why that movie was stupid.
But how cool would that be? I mean, you literally then you would be immortal. So how did he get killed? He
didn't though. He basically did, but he didn't.
How so?
Because there was a part. I remember at the end of the movie when they like erased him from everywhere. I don't remember how they did it.
The whole internet crashed. Is like right.
Yeah, but there was the one that somebody had made this secret sanctum of copper mesh that like had kept him out originally.
Yeah.
They made it to keep him out. But like when he got mixed with the clouds, whatever crap that was, his DNA, like his virtual DNA got mixed with the clouds. It like rained in there, and so he had survived inside that copper mesh area. And so when they destroy him at the end of the movie, you see his like little pieces of him in the water inside that place. And you're like, well, he's still alive. That movie's dumb. It's just dumb.
But it's still fun to watch.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch one time.
Okay, I wouldn't watch it again. But also, In Time was fun to watch.
In Time was fun to watch. Bad movie.
I would watch it again.
I would actually watch that again because I like Justin Timberlake.
The idea is super cool though. Because I 100% believe that time is the most valuable currency a human being possesses. I mean, form of currency, correct? Because I mean, that's the only thing you're not getting any more of. Mm-hmm. And so, if you were able to trade in that,
you can make a movie about it. Oh, not that.
Back to the transcendence thing. Not to change the topic, but
did we even have a topic coming into this? So you're not even changing a topic.
Well, so we moved to In Time, and I said, okay, back to transcendence.
Yeah. So change of topic.
Yeah. So yes.
So nice try.
I'm the jerk, Sam. I guess to answer your question, I would, even if I was completely sure of an afterlife that I would enjoy, maybe even more than life, I would still upload myself.
Why?
I don't know. Just because this feels so real right now, and even knowing that is completely real, it doesn't feel as real because I'm not there now. I guess.
Yeah. It's like the bird in the hand thing. You know what this is like, and it can be pretty good, but you don't know what that's like. And you presume, even with a knowledge that it's good, it's like a secondhand knowledge.
Yeah.
Rather, as opposed to a primary knowledge.
Never experienced it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah, it's kind of a tough question, actually. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Jiminy Christmas.
I'm gonna go check out my fish real quick.
Oh.
Sorry, Keith.
Oh boy. That's where all of my fun ideas come from, are movies. All these movies, I'm like, wow, what an intriguing concept. And it's just, I will go home after even if it's a bad movie, I'll go home and I'll just be like, what if? And then I'll just go through so many different avenues in my mind and try to twist and turn them into ways that could be beneficial or useful to me.
Yeah.
Inception, a great one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's actually the best movie.
Okay.
If you could,
That was
okay,
an amazing movie.
No, I actually love that movie. It's
if
great.
you could have an idea implanted into your mind to change something about you forever, subconsciously, would you do it? And what would it be?
To change something about me or change something
Like-
that I believed?
Well, change a belief that might
That would
change the
influence
way you
you.
behave. That would influence your life in some way.
Would
Or
I
your
know that I
personality.
did that?
No.
Then I wouldn't do it.
Will an idiot do that thing? Then I do not do that thing. That was fun. Great job. Okay. You would know that you did it,
I would know that I did it?
but you would want to wholeheartedly believe in it.
Yeah,
after you
yeah.
did it.
I would like know that I did it, but still believe.
So it'd be kind of in the way I'm thinking of it, it'd be like,
No, but that wouldn't work
Why
because
would-
you can't incept yourself.
Well,
It has to be. The
Hey.
idea would have to emerge, supposedly.
so what if you hired another team to do it to you and you didn't know it?
I wouldn't do it.
No. So like, you know that they're going. Okay, actually,
But
you're right.
do I know
That's
afterwards?
okay, just
Because then I lose the control.
for the sake of the argument, say you could.
if somebody else did it and you didn't know they were doing it, what would you want the idea to be that they incepted?
Oh.
Right.
So this
I got
is,
you.
I have to do this.
You have to do it. Yeah,
Okay.
you have to.
Dang.
But you have all the control you want.
Yeah.
Would I know that? Then I wouldn't do it.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm trying to think. What
I like who I am. I don't want to change who I am.
Yeah. You know, I read some interesting studies. This is slightly off topic, but it's about changing who you are.
Mm-hmm.
This is weird, and you might have read some of this stuff in school. So fecal microbial transplants, right?
Mm-hmm.
People's personalities have been changing because of their donor. They become more
Yeah.
like their donors.
What
Yeah,
the frick?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. They start picking up tendencies and traits, and like this is becoming like more documented, which is weird. I don't know if it wears off eventually, like after the strains of bacteria die or stuff.
Right.
But like,
That is nutso, though.
not only that, the personality changes, but like in mice, if you take an obese mouse and you transplant their feces into another mouse, that mouse gets fat. Like they start picking up the same eating habits, same everything, and they just start
Yeah.
like developing into that type of person.
So what you're telling me is that we're controlled by our gut bacteria.
I guess. I mean, there's some weird link that does affect the
Self-promotion? No.
How dare you?
Well, I'm not even gonna talk. I might talk about this so much. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anywho,
No, you're
but like, so
Yeah, I
think
like
about
these
it.
crackers, though.
Think if you could,
I don't like the cheese.
if you could. That's a really gross procedure, but if you were
Yeah.
gonna do it to balance out your personality,
Oh,
like
man.
combine someone else's personality with your personality,
Mm-hmm.
so you're still in control, but you're getting like say the best qualities of someone else's personality.
Yeah.
That would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
But
But
what
it
actually
makes
what
me
the
feel like
personality
I'm not
would
in
be?
control, even though that
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
So you're controlling it because you're like, it's almost like you're engineering yourself. You're like choosing, I'm going to upgrade myself this way.
Yeah, but I
The
also
other
don't
option
like
is to
thinking other
simply
people are
change
better
your
than me.
behavior to be more that way, more the way you want to be anyway.
Exactly, but that's so much harder, right? Because
It's way
you have
harder.
to, that's based on your willpower.
Yeah.
But if it was by a biological thing, to where like it just becomes natural to you,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty dope.
I would take
Besides putting poop in you.
yeah.
Okay,
Well,
yeah, not that bad.
That's not dope.
That's not dope. No, it
I
is
would
not.
get the I would take the poop of someone who works really hard because I'm lazy and I don't like being lazy.
Are you
Yeah,
really lazy? That
I mean-
surprises me.
I go through ups and downs, but it's like mainly that there are like certain things that I know I really should be doing, but I have other things I'm more excited about, so I do them
Yeah.
instead of working hard on something that like I've already started or like that has more importance, like just
Just has so much more value.
has more value. So
Okay, so
I would take
where I think of
Yeah.
when I think about this is I think, what if you were to take someone who is highly intelligent,
Mhm.
really intelligent, and what if that boosted your intelligence, or just like we were talking about earlier
Yeah.
in your last video, we could increase the capacity of our intelligence.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's
So-
a thing, but like, what if it is? What if it could be?
I guess going back to our last video. So if you increase that, does it decrease something else? Does it decrease like
nice.
like sympathy or
Well, it might, because, I mean, increased intelligence, which increases your T function, might decrease your F function and your capacity to have empathy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes.
But T people aren't necessarily smarter than F.
Exactly. But what I'm saying, so say if you get a personality of someone who is intelligent, that would increase your capacity for intelligence. So, like, based on that, your intelligence would increase. Right?
Yeah.
Creating super soldiers.
Captain America.
By putting poop in people.
That might be the future. Research. Science.
Or organs. Taking a bunch of different organs of people.
Dude, I would
putting them together.
So unsafe doing that. I don't think I would ever
Could you make a person like that?
That's like old Frankenstein, man.
Yeah. Keith, that's literally Frankenstein.
Dang.
You guys think we can make a person by taking a bunch of pieces of other people and putting them all together and then zapping them with electricity?
I didn't say that last part.
You were going there.
You gotta put poop in him first.
Yeah, but where Dr. Frankenstein went wrong was that he did not insert poop into the body that he had created.
I think that's our next video. We're gonna do that.
Who we do
is
it
that
on Sam's channel?
Does that cross the line for either of you?
Hey man,
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, well,
I'm good with it.
I'm iffy about any of Sam's videos right now. So
guys?
I'm so nervous. I don't know where like the plots of his videos are going. He just tells me this random scene I'm gonna be in, and then next thing I know, it's gone viral.
We better get filming that.
And
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
We have an hour and 15 minutes.
Do you like that, Keith? Is that how you taste the wine better? You go, wait.
That's how We're not friends with him.
I got it in all my pipes. You know, the fastest way to get wine drunk is to take it right down your windpipe. Oh, man.
It is, though.
I don't know if that's true.
If you put alcohol in some kind of chamber that can change the pressure really quickly, and it evaporates it, and then you inhale it, you'll get drunk super quickly, a whole lot more, and apparently there's no hangover. Ever.
Pro tip.
But you can't die.
Did a friend tell you this? You wouldn't know, would you?
No.
A friend told me.
Yeah, a friend told me.
Once
I haven't
that there
tried
was no hangover, and that you got really drunk.
And then you never did it again.
That was funny. That's great.
Well, this has been the Symposium. And now to the after party.
Oh, snap. There's an after party? Heck yeah. Am I invited?
No. No, it's definitely not.
Gee whiz.
Well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a symposium.
Available.
Available.
Wally Wall.
Available.